Before I start, I just want to say this is a video response to Talking and Stuff's latest video, which I'll put the little box somewhere around my face. Basically, I just want to say I hear you. I know what you're on about, and I know you said in your video that it's kind of mainly for girls, and I can see where you're coming from, because it's true. Girls, when you're young just like us boys, but then suddenly some weird crazy stuff starts happening around about like high school. You know what I'm on about. Lumps start appearing, tight trousers start being wearing. You know what I'm on about. And it's true that you girls can't, because you develop earlier, you suddenly feel like you've got to try and fit in, and you start people kind of pressure you, and the media's pressuring you to be thin, and you've got to constantly have your hair done in a certain way, and you've got to wear lots of makeup, and you've got to show cleavage, and you've got to attract boys in some way, and you've got to start having sex as soon as possible, and you've got to smoke, and you've got to drink, and you've got to do drugs, and you've got to do all that just to be someone. But it's not true. You don't have to do that. I think having someone that you can go and talk to is pretty important. If you've got someone, just go and speak to them, because as soon as you start feeling pressured to be someone you're not really, and you feel you've got to pretend that you like being someone you're not, it really isn't worth it. Because even though I know Talking and Stuff was on about girls, some crazy shit can start happening to boys as well around about the same time. The thing is, you girls, you start to change, and you start to try and be the sexiest and the coolest, and everyone's got to fit in, and you've got to be awesome. But then us boys, we're still immature, and we still think the idea of a penis is hilarious. So you start dressing nicer and all sexy and showing off, and it makes us suddenly, it kind of triggers our development. So your development eventually triggers our development, and we end up not being able to stand up in the middle of a class because, come on, we've noticed you. But basically, don't change. Just don't do it. There's no need, because like you are who you are, and if you want to try and be someone you're not just to fit in, you'll end up losing the people who you really care about. And I've been through this, and because girls go through it first, and they segregate into these little bitchy people, and then there's the nice people, and then there's the nerdy people, whereas boys just kind of be boys. There's the bullies, and then there's the other boys. And I think there's that point where we start to change, and we start going for people, and it's all that complicated, trying to get a boyfriend and trying to get a girlfriend, and everyone's figuring out whether they're gay and straight and horny or not, and no one knows what's going on. But the important thing is where I'm going with this, the point that I'm going to make vis-a-vis the following statement. Boys, don't give girls a hard time, because I'm thinking it's pretty weird and difficult for them at that point in their life. And girls, try not to give boys a hard time, because it's fucking hard for us to figure you out. We don't know how to figure you out. We don't know what you want. We can't win with you because you're going through such a hard time and changing and trying to be someone and trying to be cool and sexy and difficult. And then we're immature and stupid, and we don't know what the hell to do, and we don't know how to impress women, and we don't know what's going on, and suddenly we're getting muscles. Not unless you're like me, you just kind of forever skinny and weak and nothing. I think it is important to have someone you can talk to, but I think I can kind of relate to not being able to have anyone to go to like as a role model. I mean, it's not that my dad isn't always around, because I keep in touch with him. I mean, he's over in Liverpool, but the idea that I only see him a few times a year, and we don't really know each other as well as we used to when I was young, and now that I live so far away, things are changing. And I think growing up, I wanted to talk to people. I wanted a male role model I could go to and speak to, but I couldn't find anyone, and I ended up just holding everything in, and really it's messed me up. And I wouldn't recommend holding anything in, because you get confused, people confuse you, trends confuse you. I mean, the amount of people that make fun of me for wearing a chubby, why? It's my choice. I want to wear a hat, I'll wear a hat. If you want to wear a hat, you wear a hat. Don't wear what you think everyone else wants you to wear. Wear what the hell you want to wear. Dress how you want to dress. Put as much makeup on as you want to put on. But I wouldn't recommend putting too much on, because you do look orange and a little bit weird. I just got to throw that in there. And another thing. Drugs are bad. Yeah, don't do that. If you want to occupy yourself in your spare time, get a band together and make some music, or paint a picture, or go for a walk. And if you have to, drink. I would rather you got into drinking than drugs, but if you ask me, it'd be better if you just found something that was irrelevant to either of them. And on top of that, drinking and drugs can help lead you into the pressurization of sex and all of that bullshit. And look, trust me, it ain't worth getting all worked up about because... worked up about. I can't even speak. But it ain't worth getting worked up about because... I mean, come on. Depending on how old you are right now, even if you're not that sexually experienced, how many years have you got left? How many different people are you going to meet? How many more opportunities are going to open up? And there's no rush. Because if you rush into it, you'll end up regretting it, and when you regret it, you'll just feel sad and wish you hadn't done it. And, you know, basically that's just it. I just wanted to agree with talking and stuff. I'm going to call you that because I didn't actually ask you what your real name is. So that's the end of my video, and just remember, be who you are. Au revoir.